Hi, I'm here with Patty Spry at St. Mary's School in St. Mary's Mission School in Red Lake. I'm Nate Dorr, Vice President for Advocacy at Northwest Minnesota Foundation in Bemidji. We're talking with Patty today because they were awarded an emergency relief grant that we just issued here. Patty, can you tell us a little bit about your organization and who you serve?
Yes, I serve St. Mary's Mission and School. Our organization, the school is actually 139 years old. So we have been at and on Red Lake for 139 years, serving the people of the Red Lake. We have a school, kindergarten through eighth grade, and we have approximately, I think there's 130 children enrolled this year. As with every school, due to the COVID, it's been a little bit more difficult. We've had kids here a couple days and no kids, so back and forth. But January 5th, we are supposed to actually be having full in school. There are approximately, I think, 10,000 people in the Red Lake, um, enrolled in the Red Lake Reservation, and I think there's about 1,800 to 2,000 that live in Red Lake. But we also serve Red Bee, Panema, Little Rock. So our children come from all those areas, which are part of the reservation. So yeah.
It's awesome. Can you talk a bit about what the needs you are seeing in the community?
What the needs? Well, Nate, it's very difficult in a way for me because I see our children suffering at the hands of not only this pandemic, but also, unfortunately, because of the drug abuse, the alcohol abuse, the poverty up here, the lack of education up here. And I don't mean that we don't have the schools up here. I mean that, there's a lot of parents that do not have an education. And so we are dealing with those circumstances every day. And the COVID has not helped the situation at all. So many of our children are either raised in foster care or they're raised by their grandparents, which becomes, an added burden and an additional problem for all family dynamics. So but we at St. Mary's Mission are like a foundation for this reservation. We're kind of a cornerstone and the foundation of what is good about Red Lake. There's a lot of good about Red Lake, but St. Mary's represents that.
That's great. Yeah, a lot of overlaying challenges
We
facing the
do, we
kids.
do. We have a lot of them, yes. But I have to honestly say that in spite of all of them, we have very happy, positive children and families, and that it's so there's a lot of good comes out of that too. So
Yeah, I've seen that when I visited the school
yeah,
few years ago now. But
yep.
can you tell us a bit how the Emergency Disaster Relief Grant will help St. Mary's Mission School serve the families and children?
For one thing, it's going to help in the fact that this will help assure that we will be able to get good, healthy food to our children. And that'll be done in numerous ways and their families. Some of it will be done through a backpack program. And some of it will be done where the families will actually come in and there may be a couple teaching lessons on how to prepare really good, nutritious food. Um, Another thing that we will be using it for too is through the summer. In the summer, we have a huge summer program that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. We have summer adventures, we call it, that runs 5 days a week. So we have children here, and that helps us assure that we will be able to make sure these children get good, healthy breakfast, a good, healthy lunch. On weekends, they're going to be sent home with stuff. So this grant, I cannot tell you how thrilled I was, and as Father Jerry was, when I told him that we received this grant, because it'll help us assure that our children and our children's families get not only good, healthy food, but which is very native, like the wild rice and the maple syrup, and how to prepare that stuff. So that is what we will be using it for.
That's great. I know you're providing a safe place and security
Mhm.
for families and the kids. And so
Yes.
the last question is really how can people help with your effort in serving the youth and families up there in Red Lake, and donation, volunteering? How can people help out?
Well, we do have actually some parents that, just because of the poverty level up here, and I'm not just saying it isn't here, but we're speaking strictly of Red Lake, it's that we do have parent volunteers, and that is really helpful. And we have the nutritionist I spoke about when I was writing the grant. She's a parent. She has a degree from the University of Minnesota, and she is very helpful and will continue to be very helpful, helping us prepare these meals, learning how to teach our families how to prepare them. Diabetes is huge in Red Lake, so it's very important that they get healthy food instead of junk food. So, which we all tend to kind of turn to occasionally. But
Yeah.
so between the parent volunteers and donations, we get numerous donations from outside of Red Lake, from Minnesota, from Illinois. We get donations of not necessarily food, but we do get some monetary donations, but we get clothing donations. So people are extremely generous when they hear the cause. They really are. And when they come to physically see the site, that it makes all the difference in the world. So between the parent volunteers and then the donations that we get, will help assure that we can continue on with this program. That's what I'm kind of excited about too, is that to see the success of this and be able to write about it, and to see then the follow-up that I know we will hear about and receive from the success of this program. So it's important for us to make this a very successful program.
Yeah, it's great to see people turn out and volunteer and help out when
Mhm.
they are helping their neighbors, and
Yes, yes.
so people really come together. Well, we'll
Well,
wrap. Yeah, go ahead.
our elders are
Yeah.
are very, very loyal to, and their grandchildren are very, very important to them. And many of our students are raised by their grandchildren or by their grandparents. So
Yeah.
that, you know, that in turn, I mean, the lady I was speaking about who is going to be doing an a lot with us, she has had her children and now her grandchildren and her great grandchildren coming to St. Mary's. So there's a real history there. So,
Yeah.
and is with many of our volunteers. Mhm.
Well, thanks, Patty. We'll wrap it up here.
Welcome.
Patty with St. Mary's Mission School in Red Lake, talking about the needs up there. So thanks again, Patty, and send Father
Thank
Jerry
you.
my greetings.
I will. Thank you very much, Nate. I appreciate it very, very much.